The Silent Witness. In the small, fog-covered town of Alderwood, a peculiar house stood at the edge of the woods. It was an old Victorian mansion, abandoned for decades. Its paint peeling and windows cracked. The locals called it the Ashford House, named after the family that once lived there, before they mysteriously vanished. One evening, a young journalist named Clara, curious about the unsolved mystery, decided to investigate the Ashford House. Armed with a flashlight and a notebook, she entered the creaking front door, the sound echoing through the empty halls. The air inside was thick with dust, and the smell of mildew hung in the air. Clara's footsteps echoed as she walked through the dimly lit rooms, each one more decrepit than the last. She reached the grand staircase, its wooden steps groaning under her weight as she ascended. At the top of the stairs, she found a door slightly ajar. Pushing it open, she entered a room that seemed untouched by time. It was the master bedroom, still furnished as if the family had just left. The bed was made, and on the nightstand sat an old-fashioned clock, its hands frozen at midnight. But what caught Clara's eye was the large, ornate mirror on the wall. It was covered in a thick layer of dust, yet something compelled her to wipe it clean. As she did, she saw not just her own reflection, but the faint outline of a figure standing behind her. Startled, she spun around, but the room was empty. Heart racing, Clara turned back to the mirror. This time, the figure was clearer, an elderly woman with hollow eyes and a sorrowful expression. The woman began to speak, her voice a mere whisper. "I am Eleanor Ashford. This house holds a terrible secret, one that has kept me trapped here for decades. My husband, he was a jealous man, prone to fits of rage. He believed I was unfaithful, though I never was. In his madness, he killed me." Clara felt a chill run down her spine as Eleanor's ghostly form continued. "He buried me beneath the floorboards of this very room, and then, to hide his crime, he set the house on fire with our children still inside. But the fire never reached the room. It was as if the house itself refused to let the truth be burned away." Eleanor's voice grew weaker, her image fading. "Please release me. Expose the truth. Only then can I find peace." Clara, trembling, realized what she had to do. She pried up the floorboards, revealing the skeletal remains of Eleanor Ashford. With the discovery, the mystery of the Ashford family was finally solved, and the truth spread quickly through the town. The day after Clara's article was published, the townspeople gathered at the Ashford house to pay their respects. As they did, the mansion seemed to breathe a sigh of relief. The fog lifted, the air cleared, and the once ominous house looked almost peaceful. That night, Clara returned to the house one last time. She stood before the mirror, but Eleanor was gone. The mirror now reflected on